Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for our witnesses for testifying here today. In Pennsylvania's 13th congressional district, over 25,000 households lack connection to high-speed internet. Since joining this subcommittee, my priority has been clear. Connect each and every one of these households to affordable, reliable, high-speed internet. Repeatedly, I've heard from providers and my colleagues about the critical role of the BEAD program. I share that goal. Yet, despite the last administration's pumping over $40 billion into the program, not one shovel has been put into the ground. Why is that? The regulatory red tape that the Biden administration has tied to the funding is the answer. Back home in Pennsylvania, the Biden administration's self-sabotage is on full display. The Biden administration BEAD wage requirements have, in fact, tied the hands of the very agency tasked with implementing the BEAD program in the Commonwealth by forcing applicants to pay workers at the highly skilled electric lineman rate of almost $90 an hour versus the traditional rate of $60 an hour paid to telecommunications technicians. If you are forcing program participants to pay a 50% premium in labor and overhead to even be eligible for the BEAD dollars, you've already, in effect, limited the universe of applicants and eliminated smaller providers and contractors from the bidding process. Smaller providers and contractors that often reach into rural America, where I represent. Mr. Spellmeyer, in your written testimony, you offer an example of ACA Connect's member who applied for BEAD funding and reported that compliance with the program's requirements would carry a 70% increase in per-mile deployment costs above those comparable project funded through the Department of Treasury's capital project funds. So we recognize that. How can we say that the BEAD system is helping lower the cost of broadband deployment in rural America when the government itself is adding so many additional expenses to the deployment process?
Congressman, thank you for your leadership on this issue. I think I would acknowledge that to date, it hasn't helped because dollars haven't flowed. Pennsylvania, unfortunately, is the poster child, worst case, of how the requirements have been layered on and adopted, proposed by the state and adopted by NTIA. The good news is I do think we can, as I've said several times here, we can fix this. I don't think it's a debate between do nothing, do everything. I think, or start over. I think a quick set of waivers.
Do you feel we can fix this by passing Chairman Hudson's legislation? Is this a pathway to success?
I do. We support the legislation.
Thank you. I as well. Mr. Hale, what has been the immediate impact on providers who are looking to or currently operate in the state's BEAD programs that have prevailing wage?
It just hurts the business case. Again, these are market failure areas. You're really needing to have a great business case to serve them, and prevailing wage hurts that. And I'm going to tell you, wages jumped after COVID, and if this money starts rolling, there's not enough contractors and workforce out there. Those wages are going to go up anyway, to be honest. So I think the prevailing wage is unnecessary.
So you're saying that the market should determine the wage?
The market will. It'll push.
Thank you. I agree
Not
with
enough
that.
there.
Mr. Spellmeyer, what reforms can we make to ensure that states are following and adopting any potential labor reforms to the point that we're discussing?
That's a great question, and to be honest, I haven't given it the level of thought that I wish I could have in advance. I think there's an NTIA controls the money. NTIA's got the money. They can make sure that the states follow however NTIA interprets it, and that would be a function of the current Commerce Department to make sure that it does get followed. And if it doesn't, the money doesn't flow. There would be other problems if the money didn't flow, but I think states will enforce the provisions.
Thank you. I have one goal, and that is to connect those households in my Pennsylvania district to the internet. And if there is a common sense solution that can eliminate the hurdles that stand in the way of achieving that goal, then we owe it to our constituents. And to the parents in my district who take their kids to the Sheetz convenience store so they can log on to do their homework because that's where there is Wi-Fi. We owe it to all of America. To get shovels in the ground, we need to get America connected. We need to allow the farmers, the educators, and all of those involved to have the connectivity that they deserve. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.